What's up, friends? Welcome back to the Oddsbreakers. Kiev O'Neill here at the Circa Sports Sportsbook. I'm here with my man, Vegas Matty, the best proxy in Vegas, and we're here to talk about these massive football contests going on, Circa Millions and Circa Survivor. Matty, thank you so much for joining me, my man.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So let's talk about the Circa and what you do. This is good news for everybody that does not live in Vegas, and tell them why.
Well, yeah, all you have to do is get here. That's the hardest part. But once you get here, all you got to do is sign up for the contest, and then you can use us as your proxy, and we'll put in your picks in for the whole season. So it's just a matter of getting here before kickoff on September 10th is the deadline to sign up for the Circa football contest and the other football contests here in Vegas. Once you do that, you just set up a time to meet up with us. You can go to footballcontest.com. Reserve a time with us, and then basically you're good to go, and you're going to be up for these $12 million in guaranteed money in the Circa Million and Circa Survivor.
$12 million, my man. That is absolutely insane, Matty. I mean, there looks like there might even be an overlay in the millions.
Yeah, it's looking really strong right now. I think the overlay is going to be at least $1 million. Remember, they have to hit 6,000 entries to guarantee, or not to guarantee. The 6 million is guaranteed in there, but in order to for Derek Stevens to avoid coming out of pocket, that's what the overlay is all about. So as long as there's not 6,000 entries, that's how much money Derek's got to come out of his pocket to pay off the winners in the contest. So
That's a lot.
He's rooting for 6,000, but it's probably going to be closer to 5, I think.
Well, let's face it here. The players in this contest are wink, probably not wanting Derek to get to 6,000 because that gives them a positive EV. 12 million in guaranteed prizes, 2 ways to win. There's no rake. The casino makes nothing from this, and this is why it makes it such a great contest. It's like you're betting every single week, even if you don't have to put money down because you have your $1,000 in and you're in it every single time. And even if you're out, there's quarterly prizes, right?
Yep.
Can you tell us how that works?
Yeah, I mean, there's $300,000 in quarterly prizes, including the booby prize of $25,000 per quarter. There's also a $100,000 booby prize, and the booby prize, of course, is finishing dead last. So if you have an awful record for a quarter or for the whole season, you're going to get paid for that. And then, you've got $275,000 in other prizes per quarter, paying out the top 5 spots. And of course, there's ties involved there, so it might be splitting money with people. But who cares? If you're getting money back, you're going to be getting more money than that $1,000 you put down.
That's huge, man. And you know what? There's nothing like playing this contest. I do it every single year, and it's just exciting. You know, thinking about what you're going to do all week. The deadlines approaches. You're watching injury reports. You think you're smarter than everybody else because that's what people like to do.
Yeah.
But sometimes there are. I already met one of the Circa Million winners down there. We have a few on this show. Met the Survivor winner down there.
Yeah.
$1.5 billion this guy took down. He's having a few Bud Lights. He's having a good time.
He's had a few already today. It's only, 1 o'clock. So, yeah. I mean,
well, he's on Eastern time, so it's okay.
All kinds of exciting events going on at Circa. They've got a seminar here Saturday. I think it's 4 to 6. Got the cocktail meet and greet tonight between 6 and 8 at the D. So there's all kinds of stuff going in. A lot of football contest celebrities in town, as they say.
Yes, lots of celebrities in town. We have some for the show. So explain.
Chris Farley.
Yeah, Farley, and we got them coming on next.
Yep.
And so explain how this proxy works. So they come down here,
Yep.
and you help them sign up, right?
Yeah, we have to be there when you sign up. And then basically what I like to say is you pass the baton to us. So, you go to footballcontest.com. You'll get all the information you need on the contest. Then you're basically trusting us to put the picks in for the whole season. We've got an outstanding track record. We've had several winners over the years. We're handling over 2,000 entries, probably closer to 3 this year. We have well over 1,000 clients. And we've been doing this. My partner Tony and I have been doing this since 2009. So it's going to be our 14th season together. You won't find that anywhere else with the level of contests that we cover and the number of entries we cover for all the contests. So we've been doing this a long time. It's become a full-time gig for both of us, and you're going to get our very best week in and week out.
You guys are the best. What makes this circus contest better than the rest?
Well, it's just the guaranteed money. You hear about the guarantee all the time, but the fact that the prize pool is not based on the number of entries, that's the biggest thing. You've got like the super contest, which is the other big pro football contest in town, and they actually have guaranteed like in-season payouts, but the overall prize pool is based on the number of entries they get. So they have to hit like I think it's 1,100 entries to guarantee like an overall prize pool, which they're going to hit. They're probably going to do a little less than twice that this year. But the thing is, you're not getting the big winner. Like there's no $1 million winner in the super contest anymore. They had I think they got up to 1.3, 1.4 million dollars a few years ago when the contests were at their peak. But since Circa's come on the scene, they've just been killing it, and this is definitely the biggest contest in town now.
The biggest contest in town. What are you guys waiting for? Come sign up with Maddie and Tony at footballcontest.com. They'll make your whole football experience, watching the games, having some fun, a heck of a great time. Thanks so much for
Appreciate
coming
it. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Awesome. That's good.
All right, next we're going to have Chris come on, a friend of mine and a member of a little website that we know so well. And not only that, this man took 5th place with his partner in the Circa Millions last year.
I'm still not sure how we did that.
Well, you did it. You're here, and you're getting even more contests, Chris. Before you tell us about that success, what got you into sports betting, and how are you here with these wonderful people that we now call our colleagues and friends?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, it's awesome to meet you, Kiev. It's been 2 years since I've been working with the Oddsbreakers, and I have yet to meet Kiev, so it's awesome to be here. That was our first entry in the Circa Millions, and it was nerve-wracking, extremely nerve-wracking. It was like week 14 or 15, we realized that we could have a real shot at actually placing in the top 10. So, I can't describe all the emotions or feelings or, all the thought processes that went into that. But I really think, especially at the end of the season, you have to trust your process the entire time. Me and Steve at Bobo Bets on Twitter, we check him out. Me and Steve are a great partnership. We challenge each other. We offer contrarian angles. And I really think that's what it's all about. You have to find people in your life who are going to challenge your notions, but also validate the things that your process and the ways that you think. And Kev, I tell this to a lot of people, and it's tough to replicate this, I think. But me and Steve made so many mistakes in the sports betting world. We were exposing ourselves too much. We were betting way too much every week in the NFL for years. So I think just picking 5 teams against the spread felt actually more comfortable than where we had been in the past. So even at that point, of course, it was nerve-wracking, but since we made so many mistakes as sports bettors, we kind of learned the hard way, and maybe we were engineered for that at the end, man. Hopefully we get there again this year.
Oh, hopefully you will, man. But before that even happened, what year was it when you got into sports betting?
Oh, when I got into sports betting, yeah. So I would say it's about 3 years ago. I realized, every story is different, but for me, I realized I was searching for a purpose for my dream job. I applied to acting classes. I got my real estate license. I was doing so much stuff. But then I realized, what do I do every single day that I love? It's the habit of sports betting. I was reading about sports betting. I was listening to podcasts about sports betting, of course, betting myself. So I just tried to turn that into something, using the skills that I already have to, try to offer my own takes and my own, opinions about sports betting. And you gave me the opportunity, Kev, almost 2 years ago now, which I'll never forget. And it's why I'm proudly still at the Oddsbreakers. I got to get my own style out there, and apparently it caught on a little bit, and here I am today, which is insane. After winning 5th place last year and having some success in the NBA, it's just awesome to be here. And I think that's a good message for everybody. And you have to be passionate about sports betting, constantly taking it in, or else you're probably going to fall behind, because there's so many sharp guys out there, guys and girls who are going to just get ahead of you because they're just constantly in it. And that's how I am. I love it every single day.
Well, Chris, we really hit a home run with you. So don't tell me. We're very thankful that you came aboard. I love passion, and I think that was the first thing I talked to you about when you called me. I saw the passion. I'm like, I like this guy. I'm giving him a shot. And look what you turned into. $114,000 for finishing 5th place. Absolutely amazing job. This is over 4,000 entries here. That's what this man did with his partner, Steve. Just absolutely phenomenal. He has podcasts at theoddsbreakers.com, many other ventures. But, Chris, you have to tell me, how were those last 2 weeks before the contest ended on week 18 of the NFL?
Yeah, somehow we went, I believe 5-0 and 4-1. 4-1 maybe 2 straight weeks with week 17 or week 18. But it was extremely nerve-wracking. I mean, at that point, which is, I mean, it's insane, kid, that you got 60% in the Circa contest last year, and you weren't even in the top 100. I mean, as sports bettors, we know that to hit at 60% in the NFL is absolutely, it's like unheard of. And yeah, you hit at that, then you didn't even place. So somehow we were in the upper echelons of the 60s.
68, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some luck that plays into that, but at that point, you just have to kind of settle in. Again, trust your process. Steve and I headed to Atlantic City on our final week. We decided to have fun with it. So whether we won or lost, we were just going to embrace the results. And again, that week, there was 2 different occasions. The Cleveland Browns should have covered. Right? The Bengals had nobody playing in that game, and the Browns still didn't cover. But then on the other hand, the Bills probably should not have covered in week 18, and they went down the field multiple times.
That last
like for no reason, and they covered. So that's how it is, right? There's variance, there's volatility, there's probably a little bit of luck in it. But again, if you trust your instincts, you trust your process, you have to incorporate everything, right? In sports betting, you have to incorporate the data, psychology, situations, everything. It's not easy. We were extremely nervous.
There's nothing that can calm the nerves like Atlantic City, though. I think you did the right thing. Might have had a few cocktails, whatever it takes. But I can just imagine those last 2 weeks. You're like, oh my God, we have a shot at this. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We both went 4-1 in the final week, but placing 270th out of 4,000 some wasn't quite enough for me. But what they're doing this year, at least, is they're playing the top 100 instead of the top 50. Imagine taking 51st place last year, and now this year they place 100. But the important thing is it's getting bigger, and these prizes quarterly are massive. Plays 5 places, 150,000 to first place, and it goes down in 5 places. Isn't that amazing? That's what you're playing for too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Steve and I can't believe that we weren't even in competition for the quarter prizes last year. I mean, you had some guys go 16-0. Or like 15-1 in those quarter prizes.
Yeah, 20-1,
5 weeks. Yeah. So it's like, how did, and then they weren't even in the final place.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
So you just kind of have to go on surges. I think that's kind of the secret sauce to the Circa Millions, right? It's like you can win in so many different ways, and it's so exciting throughout the season. Even if you lose at first, you can kind of recapture your process. You can, your rhythm, and you can get back at it. I want to give anything for it, Kevin. We're here at Circa. We're going to enter every year. I mean, Derek, you guys are awesome here at Circa. You got a lifelong fan in us, and it's only getting bigger, man.
Derek Stevens is the best for putting on this massive show. I mean, this place is phenomenal. Stay and Swim is absolutely wonderful. Massive TV. You'll see some of the pictures on our Twitter about it. Chris, which contests you get in this year?
We have 2 entries in the Circa Million. And this year, I've never done Survivor for Circa. We have 3 entries in the Circa as well. I was telling Kiev, like, kind of a joke, but I'm wondering if it matters. In my local Survivor, I've done really well. Is that going to equate to the nationwide Survivor? Probably not. But I'm excited. I'm excited to be in this place.
Well, hey, if you make it your local Survivor, you're not you're competing against yourself every single week anyway. Exactly. So I find that phenomenal. Chris, thank you so much for coming on, man. I look forward to having a blast with you the rest of this weekend. I'm so happy that you're here. It is amazing to meet you.
Thanks so much, Jeff.
Thank you.
Am I supposed to get in here?
Next guest, we have another Chris. And this Chris might have taken 5th place as well the year before that, Chris. So what we do know is 2 years in a row, a person named Chris took 5th place. But not only that, you might have also did a little bit better than the same year.
Well, I got 2nd place, too.
2nd place in 5th place. That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. This is Las Vegas Chris. He is the best contest player in all of Las Vegas, hands down. I say this to everybody all the time. I'm honored to call him my friend. He's on the show. If there's anybody you want to talk to about these contests, this man's been playing them forever. Chris, tell us about your contest journey. When did you start doing this?
About 10 or 11 years ago, fortunate enough to win the Palms, fortunate enough to win the Win, fortunate enough to win Station's Last Man Standing NCAA and NFL last year. Fortunate enough for 2nd and 5th in Circa, and a handful of smaller things. But you have to be very lucky in these things. And you just have to put yourself in position to be lucky, and that's what it's all about. An unusual circumstance with Circa Millions, which I just had somebody DM me and ask me, well, what about these first 3 weeks? And I realized that the first 1, 2, 3 weeks of these contests are far more stressful, at least for me, than when I was fighting for $1 million. I mean, there you're kind of in your zone, and it's a lot of money, but if you're focused, it's a lot easier than dealing with the unknown and no metrics early in the season. And it's basically the Wild West of picks.
The Wild West. Well, Chris, you mentioned luck, and maybe you do have to get lucky to win 1 or 2. But when you're consistent, there's a hell of a lot more than luck, because this is a year after year thing that you've been doing this, man. I mean, why do you think you're more successful than the rest?
I will tell you that I believe my success comes from not overthinking anything. I don't care. And the number one recommendation that I recommend is just don't give a crap until Saturday. I mean, I know I mean that, because you get yourself in these situations where you start to follow some teams and you think, and you want to think ahead and kind of get the edge, of being ahead of the game. And I believe that that's the wrong way to approach contests. I believe you absorb information the entire week long, and you try not to predisposition yourself for anything, because you're going to pick up things that validate your opinion, more readily than things that contradict your opinion.
Confirmation bias.
Right. And, I found my best success not caring. I Scout's honor. I don't care until Saturday. I really don't even think about it.
You've helped me along saying the same thing every single week. I'm bringing up picks to you on a Tuesday. It's almost like I have to bite my tongue, getting a lashing from you.
Yeah, no, you'll be on my outs list. You start bringing that up. Seriously, I don't want to hear it.
And that's true. And that's some great advice. Will people follow it? I don't know. But that's why we have guys like you here, because you can at least lead the way for people to do things in the correct situations here. Do you always play the games that you're betting, or how does that work?
No, I mean, I have a lot of people that want to somehow get my picks so that they can use it for their contest selections, and I tell them all, they have nothing to do with each other. I mean, I'm going to use games I'm not betting. I potentially can bet the opposite side of a game that I have a wager on. And they just don't have anything to do with each other. I mean, you have to pick winners, don't get me wrong, but you don't necessarily follow your betting portfolio.
They're mutually exclusive, and it means, because when we bet as sports bettors, you have to have line value, and those lines will move, and the lines are stale when these come out, which makes this a much more challenging concept, really. It's like when these lines are out, they've already been hit by the sharper players that come out on a Thursday morning. So you have to be that good and wait for more information. Is it smart to play the Thursday game?
I usually play the Thursday game once a year, just because it has to be one of my top 2 plays. And you're obviously at a disadvantage because of news that's going to come out over the next several days. So realistically, you don't want to play that Thursday game. But if it's your best 1 or 2 games, sometimes you just have to suck it up.
Yeah, it's rare, but like lots of live movements happen on Saturday. And I'm going to give you an example. The lines came in on Thursday. The Packers were favored by like 6.5 against the Vikings, and all of a sudden Kirk Cousins was announced out Saturday morning. That line moved to minus 14, 13.5. Everybody took that consensus, and it ended up hitting. But the truth is, if you're losing, maybe you're at 52, 53% halfway through the season, maybe you don't do that. Can you explain why?
When you've got these big line differences, you really have to think carefully, because you have 3 options. You can either play with it. If you absolutely love that play, there's nothing wrong with going with it. but I want to initially find a reason not to be on that play. And then you've got the option of either just sitting it out and letting the herd either win or lose. And then the extreme solution, which I rarely actually take, is to bet the opposite side. Because I feel just not betting that game or using that in a contest is good enough. And I know people recommend to bet the opposite side. For me, I don't like that option because I think that's a nuclear option that can blow up in your face.
Yeah,
If you lose 2 games, which is essentially what you're going to do, it's unrecoverable.
well, here's a strategy that me and you employed in the game last year, and it worked for us. The Arizona Cardinals lost Kyler Murray, and they were going to Seattle to play this game. The line obviously adjusted, but we knew that there's going to be a massive percentage on the other side, and we did not think that the step down to the next quarterback, Colt McCoy, was that big of a step down.
And I'll remind you, that was also the Dallas, Minnesota, I believe, where Dallas was favored by 2 and became a 6 or 7 point underdog. And I told people to follow my selections. Don't worry about this. Dallas is going to win anyway. Okay, I don't care less that we've got 5 points to the worst of it. They're going to win anyway. They won. Yeah. That same thing happened with Arizona. I mean, if you've got good metrics and you stand by your selections, the rest is noise.
Plus, you gain that much ground when everybody's getting that wrong, and to do that. So this was one that we went nuclear and went the other side on. But in many cases, in general, it's an individual handicap, and every single situation is different. So I love how you think like that. That's fantastic. If you're winning the contest, Chris, you're doing very well. You have a few weeks left in this contest. How are your nerves? How does are you looking to play more with the consensus to keep your ground if you're in top place? How does that work?
Well, I was in a situation 2 years ago where I could win $1 million or only collect 10,000, and that was the only week that I actually thought about the money. I mean, literally the last week. Because if you're thinking about if you're entering these contests and you're going to worry about your $1,000, thank you for your donation. You're going to do nothing. Generally, I mean, you're a 98% underdog if you're thinking about your entry. Number one. Number two, a lot of people are going to play for the money. It's sort of like poker. You know, they want to hold their position and they want to get in the money. And you know, for me, that was not my style. You have to play to win. And whether I won $1 million or 10,000, I resigned myself with 5 minutes of thought. No, I'm not going to play it safe. We're going to shoot and try for first. I believe that's the only way to play this. You cannot worry about the money. You play the contest, and that's all you think about, and that's it.
Money is stressful. There's no reason to think about the money. That is a major thing that people, just by human nature, get themselves into. And
you have to consider people's economic situations. I'm in a different situation where I had that benefit of it was not going to be life-changing money to me. I'm comfortable. I'm an old fart. I've built up some savings, and it doesn't matter. It just didn't matter whether I was going to win $1 million or 10,000. And for me, it was an easy decision. And for other people, I can understand why it starts to infiltrate their brain thinking. And that's why people like us, and I'm not the only one, are going to go for first. It's like not even a second thought. We're going to play to win. Whereas a lot of people with their financial situations, understandably, want to kind of play it safe a little bit and hold and take some profit.
Yeah, amazing advice there, and something we have to learn from every single day. Exactly some of the stuff that Chris said here. Chris, what makes this Circa Millions and Circa Survivor contest stick out to the rest?
Stick out to what?
Stick out better than the rest. What's so special about the Circa?
Well, obviously it's the money. I mean, it looks like we're going to have over $1 million overlay, which is interesting. But that'll still leave, about 4,500 people. And I'll tell you something. Believe it or not, at this point, lesser knowledgeable bettors actually probably have a shot at the randomness because it's difficult to explain, but if you're a professional bettor and you really know this stuff well, you're never going to get the over 70% that it's going to take with 4,500 people. It's just because the professional bettor is not going to have these extreme variant swings like Monday morning, Sunday night, or Sunday Warrior might have in this contest. It just gets a miraculous run, so to speak.
Right, and this is just the guarantee part of it. It's so nice.
Yeah.
All these other contests either have small guarantees or not. Plus, when there's an overlay, that makes your ticket worth more than you paid. It's a positive EV situation, similar to betting 3.5 and it's going down to 3. You have positive EV on the current situation. It's all about managing risk when it comes to sports betting. Chris, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
No problem. And if you're interested in more contest discussion on my YouTube channel, I've got 9 or 10 videos of appearances that I've made, and all of them have different contest content. And I think it's very worthwhile.
Make sure you check out Chris's YouTube. It's absolutely fantastic. You'll learn more about sports betting watching these shows than watching anyone else. Thanks again, Chris. You know what? Let's do something special here. I have a new guy in the contest today, and I want to let's come on in, Sean. I want to get his perspective here because, I mean, this is kind of the thing when you first do something and you're so excited. This is Sean Kanaki from the oddsbreakers.com, helping everybody out. Sean is here in Vegas joining me. We're having a little bit of fun, Sean. Just a little bit. But either way, Sean, what's it like to kind of come into this contest for the first time? I mean, how exciting is it?
Yeah, I mean, first time in Circa. I haven't been out to Vegas since COVID started, so it's an amazing place. Walking in here and seeing everything that's going on with the sportsbook is unreal. And you walk in, and you're surrounded by professional handicappers, professional bettors, and people that want to make a name for themselves like me possibly, and people that already have like Vegas Chris and Farley. And it's an absolute blast. It's a great contest, and a great place to be.
We're so happy to have you. But this is the first time you're getting into this show too. You've been sports betting a long time. You're handicapping now on the odds breaker since you want to. Obviously, it's your passion, just like us all. I have to ask you a question. What are you going to do with the money when you win it?
Probably come back out and have a party with you guys.
That sounds fun, Chris. He's going to have a party with us. We're going to have to write this one down. But, well, I guess I'm going for you second then. I'll root on myself first. But if you're having a party for me, I'm going to have to cheer you on a little bit too.
No, you do a great thing, and I'm honored to be a part of it. Really having a blast being out here with you guys. And hopefully we can bring home that million.
Look at how exciting this is. The first time in the contest. This is the best time of year. It's our passion to go sports betting. We absolutely love all the support that we get from the Circa Millions. No other place puts in a place where there's no rake and this much of a guarantee. Yep. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's the best contests in the world are here in Las Vegas. Come on down and sign up just like Sean did. Heck, drive here. Don't matter. Get a cheap flight. You're not going to regret it. And get on with our proxy, footballcontest.com. They do a fantastic job. Sean just did a...
Absolutely. Manny Vegas Manny took me out. Met him for the first time today. Took care of me, and I'm all set to go. I'm ready.
Absolutely. And also with Vegas Matty, if you forget to put your plays in, he'll do it for you. There's a random thing he does, so you're not going to be completely left out of the contest. He did this for one other person who was on vacation. He went 9-1, and the guy ended up winning a quarterly prize because of the randomness of Vegas Matty putting that in. So that's what's great about him. You're never missing out, even if you make a mistake. Let's say your cell phone dies and you're hiking up and out, whatever you do. This is a fantastic opportunity for everybody. It's so fun. Sean, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. Great to be here, guys.
Hi, friends. Thank you so much for watching the Odds Breakers here at the Circa. There is no better place to be. I fully endorse it. Please come in and say hi if you're around. I'm going to be at the Mega Bar. I'm going to be in the Sportsbook pretty much all weekend. I'll be at Stadium Swim tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Stop by the Circa. Say hi to the Odds Breakers. Make sure you get into these massive football contests. You are not going to regret it. Everyone, take care. Have a great weekend, and go get some winners.